We on? All right, folks. Welcome to House Retirement Committee meeting. We're going to go ahead and get started in just a moment. I do want to give a big shout out to Sarah from House Budget Research. She's been fantastic in regard to helping plan this meeting and bill versions and so forth. She has the list of signups for people that want to speak to bills. I anticipate this is going to be a very quick meeting, quite honestly, because again, and just for the committee members and Representative Horner, I know you're new to the committee. Thank you for being here. This is what we're going to do is going to devote whether or not to send bills to actuarial review. This is not approval of the bills. This is not technically legislative action. What we're doing is deciding whether or not we want to spend state resources to perform actuarial reviews on these bills. Debbie's done this a number of times, so has Gerald, so they understand. Representative Tarvin. Hold on a second. Steve, how do I go back? Good microphone. All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time we have here, and we ask that we look to you for guidance, and that the decisions we make are what's best for the people of the state of Georgia. For in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, we've got about 8 bills on the agenda for today. If I could just go real quick with 2 bills. These should look familiar to those of you who have been on the committee. Steve, your light's still on. You mind if I turn it off? Okay, good. And just a real check, do we have quorum? We do. Okay. We have Representative Lehman. We have Representative Chairman Martin. Chairman Wilkerson's on. Mary Frances, good. Okay. There are 2 bills that sort of related. That's House Bill 337 and House Bill 808. I don't believe anybody here. Is anybody here from Department of Public Safety? I don't believe they are. Anyways, I'll discuss these briefly. House Bill 337, folks, is effectively the exact same, almost word for word, as House Bill 824 from last year. What this does is it creates a new state law enforcement retirement plan called the SLEO, S-L-E-O. It was brought to me by the commissioner of then Department of Public Safety, Commissioner Wright. And basically, even though we have a lot of things to be proud of in Georgia, we are the number 2, or should I say number 49 lowest in the nation in regard to state law enforcement retirement pay. What this does is takes the 1% per year over 30 years, which is 30%, raises that to 80%, but obviously asks for them to go into a different plan with a different contribution rate. That is House Bill 337. That affects post-certified individuals. So that's basically all your troopers, motor carrier compliance, Capitol Police, and a few post-certified individuals such as game wardens and DNR. There's actually a few in GBI and actually 1 or 2 in Department of Revenue and a couple others. Like I said, it's the exact same as House Bill 824 from 23 session. I'm happy to take a question. Representative Horner.
Thank you, Chairman. Would they still be eligible for ERS, or they're?
Well, they would be eligible for ERS, yes, but it would be much more beneficial to them to opt into this new plan.
Okay, thank you.
Good question as a new member. Chairman, Dean Gerald Green.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Great to be here. Did we talk about the DJJ in this as well?
Did we talk about what?
Adding the Department of Juvenile Justice.
That comes up later in 808.
Okay. I knew it somewhere.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes. Any other questions? Do I hear a motion to move to actuarial review?
Motion.
First, motion by Representative Warner,
Second that.
Dean Green, second. Any opposed? All in favor of moving to actual review, say aye.
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 And online,
Aye.
any
Aye.
Aye.
ayes? Any opposed, including opposed online? Carries unanimously. Thank you very much.
Chairman Carson.
Okay, Bethany, I'm going to get to you, but we're going to cover 808 because it's a very related bill. 808 is basically everybody that would be affected in House Bill 337, plus people who are defined as a state law enforcement officer. And basically what that does, it includes a larger population. And I can just tell you everyone right now, it's going to be an expensive bill. Okay. But what this does is 337 is the same bill that we ran 2 years ago. And I hope everybody online can hear me as well. But 808 takes the existing population that we're looking to supplement their retirement and adds to it a number of people within Department of Community Supervision, I believe juvenile justice, and a few others. So people that may or may not be post-certified, but also are on the front lines for state law enforcement, mostly affecting Department of Community Supervision, jails, so forth, so on. And I can just tell you it's going to be expensive. So we're looking to move both of these. And again, forgive me from over explaining, but this is going to have a price tag around $200 million. Okay. And that's why I maybe I'm over explaining it, but 337 is the exact same as 824 from the 23 session. 808 is going to be the same as 337, except added a whole bunch of other agencies, most notably Department of Community Supervision and a few others, to look at that cost. Because there were some agencies that came forward and said, well, we would be hampered on regard to recruiting intra-agency within the state unless we had the same benefit, which I sympathize with, but there is the cost. Dean Green.
Mr. Chairman, how much would an actuarial cost be for on the average
On the average bill?
on each bill? Yeah.
Well, I can tell you House Bill 824, again, the same as 337, the specific cost, if we were to put an injection into ERS, it was about $192.8 million.
No, what I'm asking is to do the study.
Oh, to do the study, I think Mr. Potvin and Greg Griffin could answer that better than I can, but I think usually we're anywhere from 10 to 25,000. I don't know of a limit. Sarah, do you know of a limit?
Chairman Carson.
Representative Horner.
What's the employer rate with this new plan? Because I'm seeing employee rate. I'm not seeing employer rate.
I'd have to go back and take a look. Participating members are at 5%. You're asking for the employee rate.
Yes, sir. Is that the 10% under line 74?
That sounds correct. Depending on their years of service, yes.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
If you don't mind, Representative Horner, I'm going to ask Jim Potvin to come up. No, that 10% is the retirement benefit rate.
Just a quick response to your question. That's part of what gets studied, right? So the two numbers that will come back is the total liability and then the additional first year cost, which would be the cost for each successive year.
Thank you, Jim. Any other questions? Do I hear a motion?
Chairman Carson. Chairman Carson.
Rep Horner?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to recognize Chairman Martin.
Yeah.
Can you
Chairman Carson, can you hear me?
go ahead,
Can you hear
Chuck?
Can you hear me?
Okay.
He can hear you, Chuck.
We're trying to get Chuck Martin on.
I think we can hear each other on Zoom. I don't know.
No, can you speak now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Nope.
Can
We
you
do
hear me?
want Chuck Martin to speak. Hold on.
Hey.
I can hear you, Chuck. Tell us.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Try that, Chuck.
John, can you hear me? John, can you hear me?
Turn up volume.
Can you hear me?
No.
That's when you set the screen share. So we'll be able to see him or hear him until.
Oh, he's the TV.
Computer audio.
Okay, try that one more time, Chuck.
Can you hear me, Chairman?
Go back to the Zoom. Okay, this should be it.
I think we can hear each other on Zoom, but you guys may not hear us.
Got you.
Can you
We
hear me
can-
in the red, Chairman?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, my suggestion was simply this, Mr. Chairman. I don't know if we're allowed to do this, but as these bills move forward, since they're going to actuarial review, and the question was how much was each one, the cost of that going to be? It's as you said, about $10,000 to $15,000. Is would it be appropriate to hear the presentation on all these and move them all together? I was trying to save time in doing that since we were online, but I seem to have taken more time to get the microphone working. But
No, and yours is a point well taken. It's just that, Chuck, we have Chairman Martin, we have a amendment to make a House cleanup amendment to make on House Bill 905, and that's why. But you and I talked a little bit before the meeting, and I appreciate your trying to save time. But yeah,
yes, sir.
okay.
That completes my inquiry.
Thank you, Chuck. What was a day without Chuck Martin? Go back to microphone. All right. Anything else in regard to 808? This is something it's been a Department of Public Safety priority, and a number of people in the House have asked me for this.
You motion in a second.
I think we have a first. I need a second. Second from Representative Buckner. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. On Zoom? We're good.
Aye.
Good.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. Bethany, appreciate your patience. Come on up and talk to us about House Bill 378. 372, I'm sorry, 372. You're on now.
Okay. I've got House Bill 372, and I'm looking at LC 560420S. That's what we've got. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, for hearing this today. So what this bill does is it moves out the sunset for this program that was in House Bill 385 from the 2021-2022 legislative session. The new sunset will be 2030. And this will allow public school system to decide what their highest need is rather than the RESA. This will allow for more local control in that school district. Since our RESAs are so big, it's hard to set policy by the RESA. And this lists the areas of highest need, math, special ed, reading, writing, English language arts, provided that there's current dyslexia or reading endorsement as approved by the PSC to go along with our new literacy legislation that we've been passing. And this will also, there will be no change in the high needs. So a change, if the category is changed and something is high needs, it won't require the termination or non-renewal of any beneficiary who was previously hired under the original bill. And that is what the bill does. be happy for questions.
Thank you, President Ballard. I know that this was something that was done, I think it was 4 years ago
Mhm.
as part of the governor's initiative. And I think this is what you're overall talking about is a continuation
Yes.
and expansion of this.
A small expansion, but the main thing, one of the main changes is instead of having the RESA set the high needs areas, it would be the individual public school district. And I don't know that that would expand it. It would just give that a little measure of local control.
Got it. Chairman Tarvin.
We're approving that this go to actuarial study, correct?
That's correct.
And with that addition, we're just changing removing the sunset, moving it forward. At proper time, I'd like to make a motion.
Any other questions?
Quick question.
Go ahead, Chairman Wilkerson.
Yeah, so if it goes to actuarial study and it comes back more expensive than what we thought, can we change the sunset? Basically, can we scale back? That we
Yes,
say,
we can scale
Okay.
back. We just can't make it, we can't do something, David, where it makes it more expensive.
okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? I think Chairman Tarvin, you were ready to make a motion?
Yes, I make a motion, we approve the send of the study.
Okay, any?
Chair-
Jane Green.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Nobody opposed online. Great. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'm sorry. Claire Suggs from Page wanted to say, I'm getting way ahead of myself. Can you make room at the table there, Bethany? Claire, you want to come up?
Very brief.
Please.
Pretty active at it, would say only I'm here on behalf of PAGE, the Professional Association of Georgia Educators. Hopefully you all have received a letter confirming PAGE's support for the bill. So I just want to express appreciation for your vote to move forward with the actuarial study. Thank you, and thank you, Representative Ballard.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bethany. Okay, and I'm in a rush, but I skipped over Scott Maurer with DCS on the bill. We just sent a study committee on Scott and 808.
Appreciate your support, Chairman. And I'm going to quit while we're ahead since it's already moved forward, but we are just here to support the bill.
Okay,
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, I also received a request just now from Chairman or Vice Chairman Lehman Franklin. Can you make sure he's on? He's on. He asked if he could present House Bill 924. House Bill 924 concerns the legislative retirement system. I'm sure many of us have received a number of requests because we changed our own pension plan that we self-fund in regard to retirees before January 1st of 2022 and retirees after. I affectionately call this the Ellis Black bill, where we're making it the same for everybody. Lehman Franklin, Vice Chairman, are you on?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, can you hear me?
I can. I just want to point out for everybody, I think Vice Chairman Franklin is taking his new grandbaby to the doctor. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's not a grandbaby, it's an actual baby, but that's the reason it got moved forward. So I appreciate you making this allowance for me. Thank you. But yes, this is Bill 924. It's LC 560421. And it's basically exactly what you just said. A couple years ago, we increased that retirement from 28 to 50, and then with an additional 200 for each year of the members presenting credible service. This would just make it equal for everyone. It wouldn't stop at or it wouldn't begin rather at the January 1, 2022. It would go for all the retirees that are currently.
So basically making the same retirement benefit for everyone, including those that retired prior to January 1st of 22, correct?
That's correct. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Just for everybody's edification, this is something that is a priority, at least studying it. and looking at the costs. I think we've done this before last term. We're going to look at it again this year. But this is something that's been asked of me of leadership to do so. Chairman Tarver.
I know the answer, but I want to hear you say it. This would not affect anybody working now. Retirement would be the same. We're not doing anything to increase our retirement. It would only cover people that retired before 2022.
Correct. That's correct.
That's correct.
Okay. Any questions online, Sarah? I know this can be a heated subject. Okay. All right. Do I hear a motion? Dean Green.
Mr. Chairman, I make that motion that we move it forward.
Thank you. Do I hear a second? Chairman Tarver. Second. We got a motion. We got a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Great. Thank you so much. Okay, I want to 924. Lehman, go ahead and you're good to go to the doctor. Take care of that baby.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it. Thank you all.
Thank you. Okay. Chairman Martin, House Bill 818. I think this is something specifically in regard to the tax court. And your mic should be on, sir.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, Chairman Carter?
Yes, sir, we can.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, this just moves. We currently have a tax court that it resides. It's an administrative court and resides in the executive branch. The voters approved last year, and we approved legislation enabling that to move to the judicial branch. The reason for that is to make the court more efficient and to have appeals go to the proper place. In so doing, we need to move the judge in that court from the ERS to the JRS, the Judicial Retirement System. This is not being done to help anybody. This is not anybody gaining or gaming the system. This is just simply to put the judge of the court in the retirement system of the branch that they will reside starting after July 1st of 2025.
Be 2026, would it not?
I believe that. Yeah, you're correct. Yes.
Yep.
We're moving it. We're moving it over. I'll verify that.
And if I could just mention, Chairman Martin, I think you and I talked about this on day 39 or day 40 on the floor. Basically, this is a housekeeping measure because we moved the tax court, the tax tribunal to be a tax court, and this is just basically moving the pension with it. Is that not correct?
That's correct. This just slides the person. They're in the executive branch now, so they're in the ERS system. They're moving to the judicial branch, so this would put that individual in the judicial retirement system.
Good deal. Good deal. Okay. Representative Buckner.
I move to send to study.
Great. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Dean Green with a second. Any further discussion? I'm sorry, Chairman Martin, did I cut you off earlier?
Just a second.
Okay, I think we're good. We have a motion. We have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All approved. Thank you. Okay. I think we have Noel Williams on. We do not. Let me reach out to Noel. Let's just be at ease. Okay, we're trying to find Noel Williams, Chairman Williams, but we're going to move on to House Bill 905, Representative Gary Richardson, and I believe there's going to be an amendment to House Bill 905 as well. Gary, our technology's up, but you need to unmute your device.
Did that get it, Mr. Chairman?
We can hear you. Go ahead, Gary.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman and committee, thank you all for hearing this bill today. And this is 905 LC 560400. But I would like to make a little bit of a change on, and what this bill does is there's people that have been in the employee retirement system and have gone to the judicial and then or gone in judicial and gone retire employee and then back to judicial, and it allows them to move their time in or the
If I
funding.
could interrupt you real quick,
Yes.
just to make sure, we're initially, there's going to be a suggested amendment to clean this
Yes,
up.
sir. Yes, sir.
Initially, we're working on LC 560407.
07, that is correct. That is correct. I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Right.
Okay. And so the little change that I would like to make is on line 18, after 26, scratch the or, and then after system, I would like to add or within 90 days after entering service in a covered position.
So on line 18, you're gonna scratch or.
Or,
On
yes, sir.
19 after system, you're gonna say, what were the words again?
Or within 90 days after entering service in a covered position. And then after that, it would be whichever date is later.
If I could just, I appreciate that amendment. If I could just give a little bit of color on this. I introduced a bill, I believe it was House Bill 900, also in regard to this issue. It's in regard to, and I know Mr. Potman's here from ERS and he can speak to this issue. But basically, if you have somebody within ERS and they're accumulating years of service or what have you, and they move to JRS, they might be in both systems, but not able to retire from either one of them, even though they might have, say, 30 years combined total. And so what we're trying to do is recognize those years of service from one plan to another. That's basically what we're doing. I had a constituent that had this concern. Gary has another constituent with this concern, whereas they had a number of years in ERS and then they were elected to a judicial position or appointed or what have you, and it causes a retirement vesting issue. Jim, any need for comment, or is that pretty much it? Okay. Gary, anything further? Representative Richard, anything further on your end?
No, that would do it, Mr. Chairman, if we could get those couple of changes made.
Okay. I did want to ask Ben from Legislative Council, does that cover the changes that I think we had discussed? Okay. And so just to be very clear, we're working on LC 560407. On line 18, we're striking the word or. And on line 19, after the word system, or within 90 days after entering in a covered position.
Yes, sir.
But yes. Yeah. Yes, that's why I reread it.
Somebody.
Thank you for reminding me. We needed a motion to move this forward and then a motion on that amendment from Representative Richardson that's been vetted by Leg Council. Rep. Horner.
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion. We have a second. Dean Green. Okay. We have the amendment from Representative Richardson, and basically what this does is collapses two bills into one to make it a little bit more efficient. Gives me one less bill to carry, so that's good. Can I get a motion on the amendment? Representative Horner?
I make a motion to make an amendment.
Great, thank you. Second? You have a second? Any further discussion on LC 560407 as amended? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Thank you, Mary. Thank you, others on Zoom. And that is unanimous. Okay, great.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee.
Thank you. Next, I wanted to bring up House Bill 895. This is another legislative retirement system bill. Just to let everyone on the committee know, this is going to be an issue we're going to be talking about, this session. We just approved to send a study Vice Chairman Franklin's bill in regard to making the same monthly benefit of $50 per month for every year of service. So if you serve 10 years in the legislature on or before January 1st, 2022, and you retire before that date or after that date, either way, you would receive under Representative Franklin's bill $50 per month for every year of service. So if you serve 10 years, you would get $500 per month. Makes sense? Patty Stenson's bill, I don't believe she is available this morning. We also wanted to study this one, and I would like to mention there is a third bill in the Senate that's rather interesting as well. But Patty's bill, if I may, we'd like to move this forward as well because this provides for increasing the monthly benefit multiplier a third time. Okay, so as I understand this bill, it's another one we'd like to study. Basically, if Representative Stenson's bill went into effect with current law otherwise staying the same, a retiree on or before January 1st of 2022 would receive a benefit. It's in code to be at $28 a month. I believe it's been increased. Jim, I believe it's been increased to $36 a month, correct? Between January 1st of 2022 and January 1st of 2026, your multiplier would be $50 a month. With this change in House Bill, I believe it's 895. Yes. After January 1st, 2026, that multiplier would not be $36 as previous or $50 as current, but in the future would be $75 per month for every year of service. So this takes a different route. Also, for the presiding officer, which would obviously be Speaker of the House, it would increase to go up to $300 per year per month for every year of service. So again, Representative Franklin's bill makes it $50 per month for everybody, regardless of when you retired. Representative Stenson's bill creates almost a three-tiered system where you have it's $36 or $50 currently or $75 per month for every year of service after 2026 or beginning in 2026. I wish Patty was here. I don't think she's available. Did anybody, members of the minority, I don't know if you've talked to Representative Stenson about this. We'd like to move it forward, but kind of doing the best I can without her here.
Chairman Carson.
One moment, Chuck.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. Representative Buckner. 25? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I have not talked with her recently about this, but I know she is very much interested in having it move forward to see if there's any advantage to this one over the other one, that it might be an opportunity for us to compare the two if we had two studies.
I agree. Chairman Martin, go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Not to belabor the point, but I believe in discussion with Representative Stenson, the issue is when we moved it up a couple of years ago, we also moved up substantially the amount of contribution that the active members were putting in. So we wanted to make sure we were not leaving this on the taxpayers of Georgia. It was, if you will, a self-funded retirement program. As such, the amount, this plan is the only plan in Georgia that's actually overfunded substantially. And I think the representative wanted to see if that overfunding could justify additional payments of some amount, or provide us the opportunity to cut back on the contribution and basically just right size and create an area of equilibrium so that the contributions were covering the plan with an excess balance, but not creating an ongoing bank that the members were not receiving the benefits from, if that makes sense. Just basically, we're seeking equilibrium, so this actuary study will tell us what we can do without putting any burden on the taxpayer.
Thank you, Chairman Martin. And if I could mention as well, this is one of the few plans that the state has where it's quite well funded. I'm looking at Mr. Potvin, but I want to say that this is funded from an actuarial benefit standpoint compared to estimated actuarial obligation. We're probably around the 126, 127% or higher, maybe 130% near that in regard to how much is it funded. In other words, if we expect in the future, weighing discount factors and so forth, $100 is going to go out, we still have $130 expected in the plan with future returns. So to Chairman Martin's point, there's quite a bit of, I wouldn't call it stranded funds, but it is overfunded at the moment. I would point out that I think the firefighters plan is probably near, is it about 105% thereabouts? I think it is, according to Morgan. ERS is in the mid 70s. I think TRS is approaching high 70s, if I'm correct. But yeah, I think Chuck and I are belaboring the point.
133%, Mr. Chairman, I'm reading the last year's report in June 2022.
I just want to stress, just in case any media is watching this, this is a plan that we fund ourselves without state contributions. Let's see if that makes the paper. Number 25.
Further discussion at the appropriate time, I'd move that we send it to study.
Okay, we have a motion.
I had a question.
Go ahead, Mr. Chairman Tarver.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do Lehman's on, include this in it, or will this $75 go back in his bill?
We will probably look at the cost of both, and we'll look at the policy of both, and we'll also look at the demands and which way we think would be the right way to go policy wise.
I believe you may have discussed this, but does the 36 go up to $36.50? Our contribution go up to amount to this 75, or did we talk about that?
I would rely on Mr. Potvin to answer that question, if you don't mind, Jim. Basically, the question is, in statute, it's currently at $28. I believe it's been raised by the ERS board
36.
to go to $36 per month. Podium mic should be on.
Mr. Chairman, the statute's been updated to level. Mr. Chairman, statute's been updated to the $36 level. Across the board, the $28 has been superseded. To answer your question, the bill that you're deliberating right now doesn't have any addition to the employee contribution. It would simply raise the multiplier from 50 to 75 for those who are currently active after 1/1/26.
Thank you for that. Representative Lim, I think you had your light on.
Yeah, this might be nothing, but I just want to make sure, given the language, because I noted in Representative Franklin's bill, we crossed out C1, that there was nobody in this bill that would qualify both for C1 and C2, because I know we're leaving the language on lines 15 and 16 who was a contributing member on January 1st, 2022. And obviously some people who are contributing members at that date would also be contributing on January 1st, 2026. I don't fully understand the language, but based on my understanding of the word in lieu of, there would be people that would qualify for both.
I believe that's correct. Yes. In lieu of, yeah. Got it. Thank you, Jim. Yeah. Okay. Any further discussion on, this is House Bill 895. I believe we have a motion from Representative Buckner to move this bill forward for Representative Stinson. Is there a second? Second from Dean Green. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? We got one no. Moves forward to actuarial review. Okay. Last one we have is House Bill 891. Think I could cover this. I apologize to those of you in the audience. Chairman Williams, I believe he's out of town at the moment and unable to log in. But basically, as I understand it, this idea was brought to me at the end of session. Jim, have you looked at this bill? Yeah. Basically, this idea was brought to us by the Appropriations Committee leadership, and it looks to basically increase the contributions into ERS or specifically into GSEPs, and have a higher payout toward retirement. Jim, can you comment on this in lieu of Chairman Williams' absence?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I do want to start with a little caveat. I'm not taking a position on this bill one way or the other, but I do believe that I can explain its provisions as they currently stand. So the objective, as I understand it, is to raise the pension multiplier, the number you multiply times years of service, from 1% to 1.5% for all service for GSEPS members after the date. I believe it's 2026. Yeah, July 1, 2026. I believe individuals would have to opt into this new formula. And the reason for that is because it would concurrently raise the member contribution from the current 1.25% of pay to 3% of pay, with the board having the flexibility to raise it to 4% of pay should that become necessary in the future. So essentially, the idea is to pay for all or some of the cost of the increase in the multiplier by raising the employee contribution. And it remains to be seen how much the employer contribution would change, if any.
And I believe this is a move that was brought to us, like I said, by the Appropriations Committee to increase the percentage funded over time of the ERS program.
Well,
But
I mean, in my conversation,
I don't know if you can comment on that, but
I
that's
think
what
he's
was to me.
interested in a better retirement benefit for GSEPS members out of the pension program. I think that's his primary, but doing it in a way that does not harm and perhaps help the pension system.
Right, right. So in lieu of Chairman Williams, don't go anywhere if you don't mind, Jim. In lieu of Chairman Williams not being able to present as well, like I said, this is something that was brought to us for us to consider. We're not necessarily moving it forward. We want to look at the actuarial obligation and fiscal costs of this. Do I hear a motion?
Move to move it forward.
Chairman Martin with motion to move forward. Chairman
Second.
Tarvin, second. Any further discussion? I know it's a little bit of a complicated issue and apologize we don't have the presenter here. But it is something we're asked to take a look at. All right, we have a motion. We have a second. Any further discussion? No amendments. All in favor say aye. All opposed. Thank you so much. I believe we are done. I appreciate everybody being here this morning. Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone online as well.
Thank you.